Hello, Michael Swain here after the spring showcase. I think that's what we're calling this, KU football's spring game. Usually I give a score and who won. I think the big winners here tonight are the fans. Look, that was a lot more, I think 11-on-11 football than I was expecting when I showed up here a little bit earlier today. And it was really cool to see. I think it's a really cool venue here. Obviously Rock Chalk Park, if fans haven't been out here before, it really is cool. One of the best outdoor track facilities, soccer facilities, I think out there. And look, it was a really fun event and really cool to see. I think a lot of fans come out in what is a bit of a different setting. And there's a good chance that this is where KU will have its spring game next year because the stadium isn't going to be completed until next summer. So there's a very good chance it's back here again. And look, I'd encourage fans to show up because that was a pretty cool atmosphere. As for the football, I think Jalen Daniels taking some snaps is probably a big story. You know, he's been limited through most of spring and then he gets kind of one series to show what he has. And I think you saw the version of Jalen that I think people get excited about, right? He hands it off first play, but then second play, drops back, throws a really nice pass to Quinn Skinner on the right sideline. And you can just see the zip on the throws. And look, I'm at practice every day, and you've seen the progression over the course of spring where early on there wasn't a ton of work for Jalen in some of the drills, and then towards the end, you know, the amount of drills he was doing compared to not doing was a lot different, and he was doing a lot more. So I thought that was obviously a huge positive to see Jalen Daniels out there doing some of that. I think the young quarterbacks, it's interesting, right? Cole Ballard entering his second year, Isaiah Marshall in his first year. I thought both guys, hot and cold. They got a blower going. I'm going to move over here. I thought that was cool to see those guys get out there and throw. Isaiah Marshall's a great athlete. I think whenever he does get time in games, I think he's someone that really is going to stand out with his athletic ability. And then Cole Ballard, I think you see the hot and coldness that I think people have talked about in practice, but overall I thought he was really good. So I think other young guys that stood out, I think that's what this is about. You know, I think everybody kind of knows what Kansas has coming back this year, and it's about the young guys and who stands out. Harry Stewart, the freshman running back, early enrollee, really did stand out. He's someone that physically looks like a junior. Like you see him stand next to Devin Neal, and he looks exactly just like him physically. It's really impressive to see I think he's 18-year-old look like that. Spent a lot of time watching some offensive line, defensive line stuff. I feel pretty good about defensive tackle for KU. DJ Withers looks pretty good. Offensive line will be fascinating to see how that plays out. I'll write some stuff on VIP about how I think that's going to shake out over the course of the offseason. KU really did mix and match a lot today. If you were here, I would not read into what you saw. That's what I'll say. I think KU did a lot of mixing and matching, trying different guys in different spots with different combinations to try and wrap things up. Obviously, KU does have another practice or two. I think they practice Sunday and then Tuesday again, and that'll wrap up spring. But I think offensively for KU, you know what Kansas has, right? They got big-time players, wide receiver, big-time players who are running back. I think tight end, Trevor Cardell, Jared Casey, Deshaun Hanika was not out here. He's out for the rest of spring. Good chance that's an injury that's going to be long-term. So defensively, Kobe and Mello did not do a bunch, but that's totally to be expected. I think KU's been pretty clear that the veterans are not going to play a bunch in these type of settings. Like Devin Neal didn't get a bunch of reps today, and I think that's totally understandable, right? There's no reason to have those guys out there 40, 50 snaps. Like, why? There is no point. So instead, saw a lot of Jameel Croft. Saw some Demarius McGee. Good to see him out there. Obviously, he's someone that has been limited for 9 months now, I think, and mostly with the back injury, so it's good to see him out there. At safety, you know, Jalen Dye is someone that you're going to see a lot of this fall, I think. Kenny Logan is gone. Marvin Grant is going to play a lot. O.J. Burrows is going to play a lot. But KU is going to rotate safety. They're going to play some of Marvin Grant and Jalen Dye at maybe that spot where Craig Young played. I think Jalen Dye is a big winner from this spring, and that's another VIP story I'll have coming, is winners and losers from spring practice. And I think Jalen had the play of the day on defense, right? Ripping the ball away from an offensive player, going, scoring the touchdown. Again, I don't know if it counts. I don't know what the score is. I don't know who won. But I thought that was a big-time play. So overall, some of my thoughts. I think, look, this is a spring that you can say ends on a high. I think injuries are a big part of this spring and will be a story of this spring. You know, Lawrence Arnold does not participate in spring outside, I think, the first practice. Jeremy Robinson did not take part in a single spring practice. Someone like Jason Gilliam was in and out. You've got guys like Dylan Brooks and Deshaun Hanika who suffered injuries at the end of spring. And I think that is probably the big concern, is just, hey, some of these injuries, you know, how healthy can Kansas be by August 1st or first week of August when fall camp begins? Because that's when it matters, right? And I think for someone like Lawrence Arnold, Jeremy Robinson, it sounds like those guys will be ready to go by the time the regular season prep starts in August, and that's what matters about this team. It's a lot of seniors, it's a lot of guys, and I thought Quentin Skinner made a really interesting point, saying they still got a lot to prove. They've not accomplished what they want to accomplish yet, and I think the next, what are we, mid-April, 4 months, 4.5 months will be what determine that. So obviously I think spring football, a lot about development. I think KU did get a lot of those young guys some snaps, and those are going to be really important for this time next year after KU loses a lot of production. So those are my thoughts. Obviously stay tuned to Fog.net. Got a lot coming your way. Lots of post-spring content, lots of stuff I'm hearing. We just hit the tip of the iceberg here in this little video tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. Obviously back to more basketball videos, I think, as the portal really heats up. And look, football portal is a couple days away, and KU does have some needs, right? Defensive end being numero uno. So those are my thoughts. Make sure you're staying tuned to Fog.net. We do have a VIP sale coming up this next week, so be on the lookout for that. I believe 60% off a VIP subscription early next week, so keep an eye out for that if you're looking to join VIP. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to these videos. We'll keep them coming. Hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend.